sky without warning. A wizard walks by, chasing his shadow, weaving a spell. Long gray cloak, twinkling bell, never talking, just keeps walking, casting his magic. Evil power disappears. Demons worry when the wizard is near. He turns tears into joy. Everyone's happy when the wizard walks by. Da-da-da-da. Never talking. Da-da-da-da. Just keeps walking. Da-da-da-da. Spreading his magic. Sun is shining. Clouds have gone by. Other people. No more. I wasn't even going to sing that part. Throat way too dry for this bullshit. What is this, a fucking concert or something? I don't know what came over me. Anyway, welcome to another horrid, terrible, bloody, exceptionally dismal episode of the Apocalypse. Congratulations, by the way, for choosing the Apocalypse. Not a wise choice, but a choice none the bloody less. You bastard. And since you have unwisely chosen the Apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. I don't know if you knew that, but you are. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guide. Nicola, so good to see you again. It appears the stage is being set for Ghislaine to come in and save Donnie's fat, orange, diapered ass. It appears a deal will be made. Ghislaine will get out early. In exchange for saying Donnie's a good boy, and look at the squirrel, look at Bill Clinton, or Barack Obama, or whatever they tell her to fucking say. We all know where this is fucking going, and this woman would say or do anything to get the fuck out of prison. So we know exactly where this boat is going. Look at Bill Clinton, look at this, look at that. And I ain't saying Bill ain't guilty, that's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying Bill ain't the fucking president. Donnie is. And you have your name on him. That's a problem. Bill's a citizen now. Has nothing to do with my life. The right does, though. They're going to ruin it. They're going to ruin all of our lives, actually. They're going to ruin this country, our lives, every fucking thing. They've already ruined so many lives already. Anyway, before I digress into fucking oblivion. The New York Times, this is what I woke up to. Justice Department to interview Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell. And the interview took place. I believe Mr. Blanche did it. I don't think Bondi was there. All of a sudden, she has an illness right when she's supposed to go meet Ghislaine. Obviously, she didn't want to be the one to go meet with Ghislaine because then everyone would be asking her the questions instead of asking Mr. Blanche the fucking questions. And no one wants to touch this fucking hot potato. That's for damn sure. So I find the timing of Miss Bondi's illness, whatever happened to her eye, whatever the fuck it is, I find it interesting timing. So they send in Mr. Blanche because Bondi don't want to touch it. And this is basically how it went according to her lawyer. He said that Ghislaine answered all the questions. She didn't dodge any questions. She cooperated fully. And it went great. And I got a comment from Mr. Blanche, too, coming up. The Justice Department all of a sudden wanted to visit Ghislaine. They hadn't planned on it. Remember that? The files were on Miss Bondi's desk, remember? 1,000 agents going through it. Remember all that? They weren't talking about going to see Ghislaine and getting this other testimony and other bullshit. They were talking about releasing phase 2 after the 1,000 FBI agents got, done getting Donnie's name out of the paperwork. But they couldn't even do that. Why? Because Donnie's name is so all over it, they couldn't even release some of it, son. Do you hear me? That's how bad it is. They went from it's on my desk and 1,000 agents are handling it to fuck you, it doesn't exist. What are you talking about? Oh, well, now it exists again because everyone's, about to pull out the pitchforks and torches. So we're going to put on some theater. Now it exists again. And we got to go to the courts. And the courts said no. But we're going to go to Ghislaine. And Ghislaine's going to say, Donnie's a good boy for a part. Anyway, Hulk Hogan died. South Park, holy fucking shit. I'm not a big fan of South Park. It's just very kind of obnoxious and annoying and kind of hard to watch for me or listen to. So I never got into it. I do understand the concept of South Park and what they sometimes do. They make political statements, whatever. It's a social vehicle, social tool, whatever, for commentary against certain things, pointing out of reality, stuff like that, in the face of the facade we live in, and the facade the right's putting up in front of you. I didn't watch the whole episode because, again, I'm not a fan, and nothing against it. I know a lot of people love it. I could fucking care less. It's just not my thing, that's all. Not a big deal. So I heard about this all morning, this episode of South Park that, just eviscerated Donnie. And I didn't really put much, I wasn't even going to look at it, anything. And it popped up in my feed. Anonymous had a clip from the show. And my God, just what I saw, I was like, I thought I was getting raw on motherfuckers. Holy fucking shit. They didn't hold back. And my God, the clip I saw, the puppet Donnie that looked like this came running into the room. And there was a portrait on the wall of him that was being done or just done, and it was hung. And and Donnie comes running over, looking at, the picture's terrible. Why is my penis so small? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, holy shit, I'm going to sue, the character says. It was over the fucking top, man. Raw on a motherfucker. I'm not condemning him for it. Donnie's the Antichrist. He's an evil fuck. If anyone deserves it, it's him. But my God. Then Donnie takes off his clothes, gets in bed with Satan, which is true. I mean, it's still a reflection of truth. But to put it on screen this way, gets naked in bed with Satan, and Satan's mad at him, I guess, because he didn't release the files or something. I was so stunned by what I was seeing. I wasn't really taking in the words that well. And he's cuddling up to Satan, and they're, back and forth. It was fucking over the top. Like, they went for the jugular. Let's put it that way. The jugular. Do you hear me? And I heard they just signed a deal with Paramount, and this is what Paramount has to face now after they just got their big deal done that they bribed Donnie for and fired Colbert for. Holy fuck. This was hardcore, man. This wasn't just, light making fun of somebody. This was going for the jugular. Holy shit. Whew. And that's the only clip I watched. I'm afraid to see the rest. Jesus. Whew, they were rough on Donnie, but he deserves it. He's putting people in camps to die, so he's gonna put some of you in camps to die too eventually. So don't feel sorry for him. Don't you fucking dare. And I'm not joking about that either. From Ghislaine Maxwell's sentencing memo, taken together with the defendant's perjury in her civil deposition, her lies to pretrial services, and her blatant lies about her own weight while in BOP custody, the court can fairly reject many of the defendant's complaints about her conditions of confinement. Simply put, the defendant lies when it suits her. Some judge wrote that about her. So again, Ghislaine ain't no hero here. Ghislaine just wants to get the fuck out of jail. They're starting to call her a victim now, son. Do you get where this is going? Let's call Bill and Hillary in because the Rubes will love that. Meanwhile, Donnie skates, and Donnie was his best fucking friend. You people got your name on the Antichrist, a pedophile, Jeff Epstein's best friend after you preached the gospel of Vlad and Julian. Called Pizzagate for so many years, as if you cared about the children's son. Nope, just a talking point about liberals. Here's just a random commenter, and I thought this comment was excellent. Oh no, I really hope Bill Clinton isn't in the Epstein files. I'll have to get rid of my Bill Clinton hat, and my Bill Clinton sneakers, and my Bill Clinton cologne, and my Bill Clinton watch, and take down my Bill Clinton flag, and I'll have to delete my Bill Clinton NFT trading cards. She's saying two things here. One, she's not in a cult like some of you people with all the memorabilia. Two, Donnie's a carnival barker, straight up from the gutter con man. Selling you snake oil every 5 fucking seconds. Using the office of the presidency to do it, and oftentimes. Selling citizenship for $5 million. You think you're going to get that $5 million? Is that going to be, or build a road in your community or something? No. Right in Donnie's fucking pocket, son. So yeah, she's saying she's not in a cult, and Donnie's a straight up, PT Barnum and Bailey circus fucking con man. Watching you people do backflips, mental gymnastics, ruining your lives for that con man, that's certainly quite astounding. This is about Mark Wayne Mullen. After blocking a resolution calling for the release of the Epstein files, GOP Senator Mullen didn't even try and hide the real motive What we're simply trying to do is give Trump cover. Indeed, we know. We're watching. We know. Even the rubes know. I don't even think throwing him the Bill Clinton bone, locking him up, whatever you're going to do to him, I don't even think that's going to work. Everyone knows, Donnie. You know the song, Everybody Knows? Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Tim Burchett admits that House Republicans may agree to ask Department of Justice to reduce the sentence of sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell in exchange for her testimony, if they like what she has to say, of course. So Burchett already admitted it. There's a deal in the fucking works. They might be too scared to flat out pardon her right now. They've pardoned a lot of horrible other people that are straight up criminals. I don't know why they're afraid to pardon her. Well, I guess I do know, because Donnie's all over this. So here's Mr. Burchett because Miss Bondi don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. She faking an eye injury or something just to get out of being any further part of this. Because she looks like a real asshole right now, doesn't she? So we already got the guy that's going in there to talk to Ghislaine from the Department of Justice saying, yeah, we're already talking about reducing her sentence. So we know what we're gonna get. We're gonna get Ghislaine on a microphone saying Donnie's a good boy, Bill Clinton's evil. You know what I'm saying. That's where it's going. We all fucking know it. This is also where it's going for a lot of people, the dystopian nightmare, or this aspect of it. Meet Robert Dillon of Lee County, Florida. I'm not even going to show you his picture. Jacksonville Beach PD used AI facial recognition, linking him to surveillance footage with a 93% match. One problem, he was innocent. If Palantir's tech takes over, this will become the new normal, guilty until proven innocent. Right, all them cameras set are going to be installed. A lot of them already are. We have cameras in a lot of places already that could just be accessed by these crazy people. We've seen the movies, Eagle Eye and all that shit with Shia LaBeouf and shit. We know they can access all this stuff, the FBI, the CIA, NSA. We know they have that capability. We know they have satellites that can look, see a gopher from space. But even more valuable, the access to the camera network that they all have. And they're going to install a bunch more. And you're going to pay for it. Your own subjugation. Isn't it great? Thanks, Rubes. So this guy got facial recognition and got pulled in, and he wasn't even guilty. Wasn't even the guy. That's going to happen a lot more. Whoever the Reich wants, they're going to have the camera network. They're going to have, the computer tagging system of every human that's walking, driving, just like China has, via a wearable, a chip, whatever. It's coming. For real this time. For real. You think Donnie gave Thale all that money for nothing? You think RFK Jr. is saying, I want everyone wearing a wearable in 4 years? For nothing? You think the whole Trump family's, grifting Bitcoin and Donnie coin right now, that's for nothing? That's not going to come into your life? You think that mega AI they're building, Mr. Altman? You think that's not going to come into your life? You think those data centers aren't going to come into your life? You think the Reich's not going to come into your life? So this technology will be commonplace. And if the Reich puts an alert out on somebody, just like the dystopian nightmare movies, everything's linked. All currency trades are tracked. You're tracked via wearable microchip, whatever. And you have to adhere the image, which will be the AI once it's done. There will be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Nothing you do will be hidden. I'm talking about the real dystopian nightmare. This guy's already living it. They already grabbed him based on the God technology, right? It's got to be right. Facial recognition, 93% match. Yeah, it's going here. And for this guy, it already showed up. Again, they didn't give Thale and Leon all this money for nothing. Even though they're going to pocket most of it. They didn't give Altman that money for nothing. Not building those data centers for nothing. And they're all about it. And when I say someone's all about something, I mean it's their religion, son. That's how serious they are about this Reich they build. This guy already suffered the consequences of the pre-Reich. New York Times, breaking news, France will recognize Palestinian statehood, Macron says. So that's going to piss a lot of people off, and I don't think I need to explain it to you. That's a very contentious thing, recognizing Israeli settlements, recognizing Palestinian statehood, recognizing the capital of Israel being Jerusalem. Now I think they moved it to. When these things get said out loud by powerful people, it just ripples across the world, and it makes a lot of people very fucking mad. And I don't even see the point of it anymore. I know where it's all going. It's all going to one huge war. So what's even the point of this bullshit? The treaties, the recognizing statehood, the this, the that, the deals that are over, by the way. I got that headline too. Kind of came out of nowhere. That headline. That I'll get to soon. DeSantis or Meatball Ron is heckled at an event today. And this is what Ron looked like up at the podium. He was right in the middle of giving his Hulk Hogan remembrance speech. Really poignant, you know? And some guy with glasses just gets up and starts yelling, calling him a pedophile, and he's covering for pedophiles, just telling him to shut up. It was pretty, it was loud and it was crazy. And Meatball's just like, hey, get out of here, get out of here. Because Meatball just has no personality. He's a fucking robot. Prove me wrong. I think Meatball is the first actual humanoid robot. Prove me wrong. I don't think you can. I got more context for that later. It was bad. I watched the clip. It was fucking bad. And it took a minute for security to get to the guy. So he popped off a lot of shots. Let's put it that way. He got to say what he wanted to say. They didn't tackle him in 2 seconds like usually happens in these town halls. Here's Donnie talking about Leon again. I guess Donnie got to thinking. And Donnie's thinking about taking Leon's welfare away. That's what it sounds like to me. Another threat, another shot across the bow like, you better calm down, Leon. Everyone is stating that I will destroy Leon's companies by taking away some, if not all, of the large-scale subsidies he receives. Now, you could replace that word subsidies with welfare. Let's try that. By taking away some, if not all, of the large-scale welfare he receives from the U.S. government. This is not so. That's got an exclamation point. I want Leon and all businesses within our country to thrive. In fact, thrive like never before. The better they do, the better the USA does. And that's good for all of us. We are setting records every day, and I want to keep it that way. When a mobster starts off a statement by everyone stating that I will destroy Leon's companies by taking away his welfare, and then he says, "Oh, I'm not going to do that. Don't worry." I don't know. I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds like a threat against Leon, worded in a certain way. That's how I'm taking it. So, Leon, I'd be careful with the whole third party bullshit and everything you're doing, because you cannot survive without the welfare the citizens of this country give you via the Antichrist. You wouldn't make it, son, and we all know it. Neither would they. So I'd be careful. Donnie gonna take your welfare away, son, and you're the biggest welfare queen I've ever seen, you and Thale, actually. You're probably like tied for first place. It's funny how you hate liberalism and socialism so much, except when you're putting your hand out to the government for another contract, right, Leon? Right? Right, Greasy Pete? Nazism, white nationalism, transhumanism, Satanism. Those things are better, right, Pete? Right, Leon? Than the democracies that gave you all that welfare. Jeep maker Stellantis says it will lose $2.7 billion due to Trump's tariffs. Donnie's doing great, and we just heard about what GM saying the tariffs are fucking killing them. I mean, killing them. Stellantis, same thing. Again, Donnie keeps preaching this gospel. I'm saving the American companies. I'm bringing all the manufacturing back. No, it looks like you killing them, son. That's what it looks like to me. But that's what the plan is. He's here to destroy, not to build. U.S. grocery prices reached record highs in 2025. Prices are higher today than they were in July 2024 in all major categories listed below: cheese, alcohol, grocery, dairy, produce, and meat. So that's pretty much everything. Again, I thought you people voted for cheaper eggs, lower grocery prices, all that bullshit to justify the evil you were putting your name on. Remember those excuses that you didn't believe, but you said anyway? I do. It doesn't look like you got the cheaper grocery prices. What you did get was the fucking Antichrist and the end of the empire and the end of everything. Isn't that great? But you knew what you were doing, son. You knew what you were doing. This headline, I was surprised to see it, but these are two very nasty people right here. Israel and the U.S. withdraw from ceasefire talks with Hamas. What happened? I thought it was Mr. Peacemaker. I thought it was Kumbah fucking Yah. I thought it was give me a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm the man of peace. Now it's fuck Hamas. What, war's back on the table? What is this? And that's the thing with chaos. It's never consistent. It's always flip-flopping back and forth. That's the point of chaos. To have you going in circles achieving nothing. Wasting energy. Wasting spirit. So here we are again where it's, Bibi and Donnie are friends and they're saying to Hamas, fuck off. That doesn't sound like it's going to go to a good place. Here's my prediction. Israel will bulldoze and bomb more buildings to make way for Donnie's resort and what Mr. Netanyahu wants to do. And then through that corridor, they can then go to building the temple. And that's going to happen, son. Don't worry. And that should be when you really get scared. When that gets built. And it's going to. Who's going to stop it? Iran? Palestine? Egypt? Nobody. There is no one. Who can make war with the beast? Because that's who Bibi's going to have as his backup. No one can. That's who. That's why I told you months and months and months and months and months ago. Once he has the keys, it's over for everybody. The rich, the poor, the rube, the non-rube. It's too late after that second. Once Biden hands him the keys. We were done. It was over then. Never to return. So from peacemaker and Nobel, Nobel Peace Prize nominee to, okay, never mind the peace deals with Hamas. Let's just bulldoze it, kill more people, and remove the rest. This is Donnie with Jerome Powell. I saw that. I'm like, what did they AI generate? I'm like, what the fuck is Jerome Powell doing standing next to Donnie in a building where they're wearing hard hats? What the fuck is this? Why would Jerome want to be standing next to this guy? So this is, I don't know. They had some schematics or some papers Donnie had on him. And he said this. It looks like, this is what it looked like. I have a better picture later, but this is what it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? That is the head of the Federal Reserve, Mr. Powell, and Donnie shitbags. And you know what Donnie been saying about him lately. How the fuck did this happen? It looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit. The 2.7 is now 3.1. That's Donnie saying that. Jerome was taken aback by this. What's this bullshit? Why is he adding billions of dollars to the value? Powell, I'm not aware of that. Trump, it just came out. Yeah, I bet it did, son. I bet it fucking did. Powell, this came from us? Trump, yes. Powell, he handed Powell the papers that he had stuffed in his suit. You are including the Martin renovation. You just added in a third building. Trump, it's a building that's being built. What the fuck is this? Powell, no, it was built 5 years ago. Powell wasn't having none of this, by the way. He ain't scared of Donnie. He don't like him, I can tell, it's obvious. But Donnie just tried to pull some grift, fraud, something right in front of the chair of the Federal Reserve on camera. And you could tell it was shady by how Donnie was talking. How do you put it? It looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit. Yeah, billions of dollars. Or no, not even a billion, but a lot of damn money. The 2.7 is now 3.1. Powell's like, what the fuck? What is this carnival barker trying to do here? What is this grift? Adding a building in that was built 5 years ago. Now you know how Donnie handles real estate deals and the IRS and everything. The value just changes. You just add in a building you built 5 years ago that has nothing to do with anything. I still don't fully understand why all this took place. All I know is Donnie Shitbags was standing in a building under construction with a hard hat next to Jerome Powell with a hard hat. And Donnie tried to add, a few $100 million to the value of something. And Jerome's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? What scam you got going now? Jerome took a look at the paper. Oh, you're adding in another building that was built 5 years ago. What the fuck are you doing? In other words, this is what you saw, people. You saw Donnie mid-grift in some construction project. I don't know what the fuck it is. Who cares? And the head of the Federal Reserve caught him red-handed in his grift, in mid-grift, on camera, and said it out loud. What the grift was, the detail of the grift. Can you believe it? You need to go watch this. This is nuts. And Donnie's like a little kid trying to fool the principal or something. His demeanor, the way he pulls the paper out. Oh yeah, the value went up a little bit, a few $100 million more, went up. I'm sorry, it's got to be the apocalypse. This was insane. This was nuts. I don't even know why they did it. How the hell Donnie ended up standing next to Jerome. And Jerome looked like daddy and Donnie looked like the little child. Even though Jerome's a lot smaller, you know what Jerome does have? Power. Donnie doesn't, even though he's president. These motherfuckers that run the Federal Reserve, these are the most powerful people in the world. You don't fuck with them. Donnie's the Antichrist, so, and he's grifted, so he's fucking with it, poking the bear a little bit, but not too much. But my God, Jerome he just embarrassed. I mean, again, he caught a mid-grift and said it out loud in front of you people. It was incredible. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell just corrected Trump's math on national television live and called out his disinfo. No, it wasn't a math error, son. Donnie added that value for a fucking reason. Added a building that was built 5 years ago to it for a reason. A financial one. So again, what really happened was Jerome caught him mid-grift. That's what happened. It's astounding. I've never seen something so crooked. Again, except for Vlad and Adolf Hitler. But, in America, I've never seen anything so crooked as that Orange Menace. Okay, this is what the guy... This is what the guy said to Meatball. Again, Meatball's at the podium. He's giving his Hulk Hogan remembrance speech. You bow down to a fucking pedophile. You're a fucking pedophile. Donald Trump and all of you are fucking Nazis. Fuck you all. And he was very close to the front, too. He wasn't like way back. I mean, you got to hear this crystal clear. Security took a minute to get to him. He got to get it all out. And Ron just said, hey, get out of here. Get out of here. This guy went off, man. You bow down to a fucking pedophile. You're a fucking pedophile. Donald Trump and all of you are fucking Nazis. Fuck you all. He said more than that, too. That's just, a little synopsis. Whew, right to Meatball's face. He wasn't scared at all. This guy was nuts. I couldn't believe it. Holy fuck. Oh, and this is a surprising headline. Right after the bribe money, after the firing of Colbert. FCC approves Skydance's merger with Paramount. Gee, I wonder why that happened. Because they just gave Donnie a bunch of tribute money in the form of a settlement, and they fired Colbert. And Donnie let the cat out of the bag, not that we didn't know, that he wants all the late-night comedians fired. He doesn't like any of them. They ruin television. Because they make fun of Donnie. How fucking dare they? Donnie thinks he's God. Remember, he said he hoped he had something to do with it, and he hopes Fallon and Kimmel go next. Donnie had something to do with it. I understand that now. This merger was everything to these people. Donnie knew that. And he made them pay him millions of dollars. And fire their top guy. The top talent they have, that they own, Stephen Colbert, they really wanted this merger. I don't know what they're going to do without Colbert, though. What's worth watching? Colbert was definitely worth watching. This is Jim Stewartson, and this may sound over the top, but this is eventually where it's going. Donald Trump intends to send the homeless and mentally ill to institutions or concentration camps, just like Hitler. I added that part. Thus continuing his perfect imitation of Third Reich policies. Yes, you're seeing a Reich being built, literally in the image of Nazi Germany 33. Literally, I'm not being dramatic. I'm not making a comparison. I'm saying they're trying to build the same thing. Guys in masks with machine guns kidnapping people, your own military on your own streets, concentration camps. Where the fuck do you think this is going, son? He's taking his personal hell out on everyone else. Yep. Donnie's a very angry man at a lot of people and a lot of things, even at himself. So he expresses that like, you know, we've heard a lot of psychiatrists talk about sociopaths, that the hatred they have for themselves, they lash out at other people physically in any way they can. They want to share the misery. They want to express it via the cruelty they make happen against you. There are people like that in this world. Donnie is one of them. And the reason Jim Stewartson is saying that is Donnie made a proclamation today about homeless people and cleaning up the streets. The convicted felon did that. This is from Newsweek. Trump's new order will reportedly redirect federal funds to send impacted homeless people to treatment or rehab facilities. Oh, we know what that means, don't we, son? They don't give a fuck about making people better or them getting treatment. What they care about is taking the humans off of the street and putting them in a camp and you allowing it. That's what they care about. And you will allow it, don't worry. So a new group is about to get added to the concentration camp list on top of the Latin immigrant or Latin-looking person. Now it's going to move slowly but surely to homeless people. And Donnie's never liked homeless people. Seeing them, he's always talked about removing them somewhere. Where's that somewhere always end up? A camp, of course. Especially when you have a literal Nazi Reich being built. There's no place for anyone to end up but a camp. It's written in the gospel of Nazism, in the gospel of fucking Satan. So homeless people are the new target. That's coming up. Donnie has proclaimed it so. And this is another source. Unusual Whales. They're a pretty serious account, and they report on serious stories. White House says Trump to sign order pushing cities and states to remove homeless people from streets. Here's Jerome Powell again. A little more context on the Powell-Donnie meeting again with the hard hats. And Jerome can't stand this motherfucker. Notice his body posture. Powell called out Trump for making stuff up to smear him. I don't know why Aaron wrote that at the top. I'm not aware of that, Mr. President. I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed. You just added in a third building is what that is. No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished it 5 years ago. It's not new. Again, Powell caught Donnie mid-grift here. He added that value to this project and that building for a reason. And Powell straight up said, what kind of fast one are you trying to pull here? Where'd this info come from? Unbelievable. This I did not see coming. Thailand launches airstrikes on Cambodian military targets as deadly border dispute escalates. Now, there's a certain spirit in the air of larger foes attacking weaker ones. India did it to Pakistan. Thailand doing it to Cambodia. Cambodia cannot fight Thailand. Thailand actually has a military and jets and shit. Cambodia doesn't have much. So Cambodia would lose that war most likely. How this all started, what I'm hearing, Thailand is alleging that the Cambodians put landmines on their side of the border and some Thai troops got killed. That kind of sounds like a bullshit story. Maybe it's true. I don't know. It looks to me, though, what I'm seeing is a stronger neighbor picking on a weaker one again, like the India-Pakistan thing. That's what I'm thinking this is. Why? I don't know. What the real reasons behind the scenes. I'm not Thai. I'm in the Reich here in America. I'm under that subjugation. So again, this appears to have started, according to Thailand, they're saying Cambodia put landmines on their side of the border and Thai troops got killed. Kind of sounds like an excuse to bomb some people to me for another agenda. So Thailand and Cambodia are basically at war right now. That came out of nowhere. I've been hearing about this for a minute, but I didn't tell you about it because I wasn't sure if people were just talking or it's really going to happen. Israel has a new public relations plan. Fly 16 MAGA influencers with millions of followers to Tel Aviv to coach them on how to keep Generation Z from siding with Gaza. 500 more influencer field trips are on the schedule for this year. The bots failed. Now they're sending TikTokers. Foreign ministry to fund Israel tour for MAGA. America First pro-Trump influencers. Again, we have a segment of the Jewish population in Israel literally siding with Nazis. Building an alliance with that political machine that is Nazi now. Called the right-wing grift/terror machine. People like Chaya Skank are involved in it. Probably Russian-financed, every single one of them. I'm not kidding. So what are you really going to have? You're going to have Russian-financed podcasters in the right-wing grift/terror machine go to Israel to get a propaganda class and God knows what else kind of information, help, to convince the world that, just let us kill all the Gazans and starve them to death and do whatever we want to do. Make it a positive. Make good evil and evil good. That's what you people like, right? The rubes? You love that. That way you can sleep at night. This is really bad. This is a further, deeper union between Jewish people and literal Nazis and the machine that put the Nazis in place. Vlad is a huge component in all this. Bibi is also aligned with him. Vlad helped finance that attack that came from the terrorists October 7. Bibi knows this. Yet he still aligns himself with Vlad, the Nazis, and Donnie in America, the Nazis. This Nazi thing is big in Russia, and Vlad's one of them, by the way. This ideology is alive, son, in some very powerful people. and very stupid people. It's the downfall of our fucking globe. Nazism, Adolf Hitler, which is just another form of authoritarianism that's been, placed upon the people since the beginning of time in different empires throughout time. But Nazism is the modern incarnation. It became a religion, son. Donnie, Leon, Thale, people in Russia at the top believe this shit. And Bibi has no problem with joining up with them. In fact, he has for years. I'm not saying Bibi's a Nazi. I'm saying Bibi is a guy who wants the glory of it. The glory of Israel is on his mind at all times. And how he can be that conduit to build the third temple and stuff like that. So again, a bunch of Russian finance podcasters being invited to Israel for a propaganda course. As if we needed more of that. The right-wing grift / terror machine, these podcasters and the ones that came before them, they are the reason, one of the main driving forces that we've lost everything. Our country, our planet, everything. Because they thought it was okay to lie for money. So fucking sad. Again, this is kind of a timeline. Trump's FCC approves Paramount Skydance merger after blocking it. Just days after CBS, part of Paramount, fired Trump critic Stephen Colbert. Just weeks after CBS paid $36 million to Trump to settle his bullshit lawsuit versus 60 Minutes, total and complete corruption. We've seen this over and over again. People give settlements to Donnie. That's the new grift now for Donnie. I sue you, baseless bullshit case. You pay me large lump sums of money. I give you what you want. So again, now we know why the merger happened. And we know why Colbert lost his job. But he'll be just fine. I'm sure he made plenty of money, but still. It's a statement about where the country's going. Donnie has these businesses paying him $40 million and firing their top talent. Man, that's a loss. And I told you people, I told the oligarchy, he's never going to stop coming to your door. Paramount's learning that lesson. So are a lot of others. Oh, and this is Skeletor, her literal account, Miss Levitt, celebrating the proclamation by Donnie. Trump to sign order pushing cities and states to remove homeless people from streets. And look, she even put a picture of like a tent camp. Because the problem isn't $2,000 a month closet apartments. The problem is the tent people outside on the sidewalk. Right? Right, Roops? Right, economists? Right, experts? Right, political commentators? In other words, now that the world is made by Satan and his people unaffordable for most of us, to the point there's whole tent communities of people homeless. The solution is put them in concentration camps so we can get work out of them. Because who cares about them? The solution isn't, how do we do affordable housing? How do we cut out these greedy cunts that are charging, $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom? That's never the answer. You notice that? The answer is get rid of the eyesore. So sad. That's been our nation's credo since its inception. So sad. That's why it's falling right now. People like this, Skeletor, that you put in power, celebrating the proclamation by Caesar that we're going to clean up the streets of all these, evil homeless people. Meanwhile, you voted for a convicted fucking felon. And Miss Levitt works for one. But I know the homeless people, they're the bad people. Not the convicted felon, a pedophile president we have right now. Breaking Wall Street Journal, they're letting all the secrets out. I'm seeing how this is starting to shift towards Bill now and away from Donnie. And Ghislaine's going to go that way too and say Donnie's a good boy. God, you people are stupid. The Epstein birthday book compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell in 2003 had a section labeled Friends. Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Alan Dershowitz were listed under that section. Notice the picture for the article only has Bill in it. I read 3 names there. Why don't we got, where's Donnie and Dersh in that picture? Look at the squirrel. Look at the squirrel. This is from CNN. Ghislaine Maxwell was caught on camera being returned to her cell after meeting with the DOJ, and she is carrying a box of materials back to her cell. What the hell is in the box? What's in the box indeed? I'd love to know. I'm sure it's nefarious as fuck, whatever it is. And here's the order: to demonize, criminalize, and persecute homeless people. That's the point. That's what Satan would do, right, Rubes? And Donnie is Satan's boy, so. Ending crime and disorder on America's streets. So homelessness is just a crime now. Endemic vagrancy, disorderly behavior, sudden confrontations, and violent attacks have made our cities unsafe. So that's what all homeless people do, huh? According to Satan and the Reich. Right, Roops? The number of individuals living on the streets in the United States on a single night during the last year of the previous administration, I'm not reading the numbers, was the highest ever recorded. Oh, so again, let's blame the homeless. Let's not blame society charging $2,000 for a 1-bedroom. The overwhelming majority of these individuals are addicted to drugs. The overwhelming majority, you say? Because here's reality, faggots. Rich people do way more drugs than fucking poor people. Way more. Than homeless people especially. Because they don't have no money. The overwhelming majority of these individuals are addicted to drugs. Donnie's first term, his doctor was giving out pills as if they are Tic Tacs. Donnie's on a cocktail of drugs every fucking day. Are you kidding me? Donnie's a convicted felon if we're talking about crime. The audacity of this. Or they have a mental health condition or both. Donnie's got several mental health conditions: compulsive lying, narcissistic personality disorder. I mean, he's the book, man. He's the psychiatry book. Nearly 2/3 of homeless individuals report having regularly used hard drugs. Oh, you mean like Donnie being a cokehead his whole life? And his son too? Those kind of hard drugs? No problem, as long as you're grifting off the taxpayer, right? As long as the taxpayer's paying your rent, then it's okay to do drugs, right, guys? Fuck out of here. This is evil as fuck to put this in words. This is the White House that wrote this. This is the proclamation. And what I'm hearing is homeless people are evil. Let's persecute them. And they're all on drugs. And they're all mentally unstable. Says the convicted felon who's mentally unstable. Amazing what you people have wrought. Amazing. The goal is to imprison as many of us as possible in their concentration camps in order to force us to do their slave labor. They require after firing all of us and forcing us to be unhoused. Indeed. How many more homeless do you think there's going to be when this AI is fully instituted and more jobs go away? They need someone to do the farm work, pick the cotton, son. They need someone to put the screws in the iPhones. They're deporting all the people that do it now. They're going to put the homeless in camps. Then they're going to mass fire after AI is fully implemented. Homelessness will be a fucking epidemic. Well, they got a plan. Don't worry. Put you all in camps once you lose everything. And, you know, they use you for whatever work needs to be done for the Reich. I'm not kidding. They built in a Reich. That's what the Reich did, the last one. And again, this person is talking about the executive order. Let's read this again. So when it comes true, we can all remember back to this moment. The goal is to imprison as many of us as possible in their concentration camps in order to force us to do their slave labor they require after firing all of us and forcing us to be unhoused. Yep. That's where it's going. And they want it that way, not Lick. When he talks about Vietnam-style factories and putting screws in, he's in on the plan. He knows what's up. When haggard-ass Brooke Rollins talks about you picking cotton, she's in on the plan. She knows what's up. That's why Donnie hired these people. They down with the agenda. Mr. Oz as well. Eugenicist. Every statement out of his mouth, all I hear is eugenicist. And I can't believe he says it. I feel like I'm in the 30s in Germany listening to their philosophies on society. That's where this is going. You in a camp, son. That's why I've been yelling for 10 years. That's why so many other people have been yelling for 10 years. Remember this moment when it happens. And again, this isn't the standard situation that so many of you people have gotten on camera and yelled about because someone won that you didn't like. This is people that believe in a certain religion called Nazism. It's really happening this time. And again, I know I always repeat this, but it's for a reason. Guys in masks with machine guns kidnapping people at Home Depot and off the fields. Military on your streets already. Concentration camps. So please, don't say they're not Nazis. Let's not debate it, because the motherfucker in the camp, if you'd like to debate him, maybe someone would actually learn something. In other words, we're already there. What don't you get? And it's going to go further to where Hitler went. It's going to go there. And the Jewish people, I have to say, the Reich ain't going to care that you people went along for a while. You get that, right? You understand the religion they believe in, right? You know what the number one tenet of that religion is? Nazism? Hatred of Jews. Extermination of Jews. That's commandment 1 of the Nazi religion. Written by Satan himself. I wonder why it was Jews targeted. I won't go into it. You wouldn't believe it anyway. This is excellent. Again, a random commenter, and it's about the ACLU condemning Trump's persecution of homeless people that's about to take place. That's what you're doing, son. If you're down with this, if you preaching this, that is what you're fucking doing. You're persecuting the homeless! That's not very Jesus-y of you. And again, God don't give a fuck about your $50 in a collection plate on Sunday. Couldn't care fucking less. What he cares about is you persecuting the homeless? That's what he cares about. When Trump mocked a disabled reporter, we warned you. When he said his disabled nephew should be left to die, we warned you. When we rushed back to normal and disabled people were left by the wayside, we warned you. When Oz said it's a patriotic duty to be healthy, we warned you. What are they talking about here? Eugenics being played out and preached right before your eyes. Again, not like before, son. Not like the lies you heard on Alex Jones about Obama and the Clintons and all that. No. For real this time. And I ain't even selling snake oil. When Oz said it's a patriotic duty to be healthy, all I hear is eugenics in that, son. This is Darth Putin, and again, remember, Darth Putin knows all and sees all. We're at the stage where an adjudged rapist is hoping a convicted child sex trafficker can help end allegations of his pedophilia. Bluntly stated, that's our reality. Some of you got your name on that too. Let's read that one more time. We're at the stage where an adjudged rapist is hoping a convicted child sex trafficker can help end allegations of his pedophilia. Yep, that's exactly where we're at. Here's Mr. Oz, the eugenicist. You can't hide it from me, son. I know Nazi eugenicist rhetoric the second I fucking hear it. We've made it easy to be sick in America, and this president and this Secretary of Health, Bobby Kennedy, they're not going to tolerate it anymore. That's what this looked like. I don't usually pay a lot of attention to Oz, but I see now Oz is an integral part of this plan. And he down with the agenda. And I mean all the way down, son. Georgia Guidestone down. That's what I'm talking about. This is what it looks like. He's talking to some crowd or something. I want you to hear this again. Because what kind of goddamn sociopath says something like this? You know what kind? A eugenicist with an agenda of you dying. That's what kind. This is survival of the fittest talk. Which was Hitler's bread and butter. He loved that. Getting rid of, unsightliness, homeless, infirm, retarded people, gays, even though a lot of the top Nazis were gays, just like the top Nazis in this Reich. One more time. I can't believe this was said out loud by a human being, and all I hear is a eugenicist that works for Adolf Hitler. That's all I hear in this. No one's going to straight up come out and say, I'm a eugenicist. I want you to die. They will say this, though. They'll go that far. I can't believe this came out of like nowhere, too. This straight up Nazi religion being practiced. You Americans, or my fellow Americans, you are in for a nightmare you can't even fucking imagine where this is going. We've made it easy to be sick in America. And this president and this Secretary of Health, Bobby Kennedy, they're not going to tolerate it anymore. What is it? Wait, you're talking shit on sick people? You're angry at sick people. We had RFK Jr. say autistic people cannot contribute to society in any way. He said it out loud, son. He wanted to make a list of autistic people. Remember that fight? And he wants you wearing a wearable within 4 years. Wow, this sounds different than all the stuff before, huh? The different presidencies. This is a whole new thing. And these people really believe it. That's the scary part. They think they're the noble ones. They think they're doing a good thing. Because Satan telling them they're doing a good thing. There's an actual animosity by this man, in this man, against sick people in this country. He wouldn't say this otherwise. He wants you gone. We've made it easy to be sick in America. What do you mean we've made it? No one's made it anything. People just get sick. That's the natural order of this world, in the state of entropy. It's like these Nazis, and they are Nazis, Oz, RFK. They have a literal animosity against sick people. What do you do with that? Except throw it in the fucking lake. It's funny, I see them the same way they see retarded people, gay people, poor gays, not them. Because it wouldn't surprise me if Oz was too, not in the slightest. I look at them the same way they look at everyone else. They look at everyone else as wastes of oxygen. Okay to exterminate. I don't look at them as okay to exterminate, but I do look at them as wastes of fucking oxygen. I don't want to exterminate anyone. I don't have that kind of hate in my heart, and by anyone I mean a mass group of people. I'm sorry, since I understand what's going on and what I'm seeing, and most of the rest of the world could care less, that's why I'm so stunned by it. Because I know what a Reich looks like. I know how it's built. And we're watching the steps, one after the other, of it being built. In 2025, Nazi ideology being preached and believed, being instituted. Why did that have to live on? So I'm a little stunned by it all, because I know what I'm looking at. Donnie put this out late in the day, 8:52 p.m. Obviously, the Epstein thing is still on his mind. He keeps giving the game away. The radical left Democrats are doing everything in their power to distract and obfuscate from our great 6 months of service to America, results of which many are saying is the best 6 months in presidential history. They've gone absolutely crazy and are playing another Russia, Russia, Russia hoax. But this time, under the guise of what we will call the Jeffrey Epstein scam. As things are revealed, and I hope will take place quickly, you will see that is yet another Democrat con job. Hopefully the grand jury files will put an end to this hoax. Everyone should see what is there, but people who are innocent should not be hurt. Make America great again. I wonder who Donnie was talking about when he said people who are innocent should not be hurt. He was talking about him, of course. And he's the farthest motherfucking thing from innocent, my God. But he'll tell that lie as if he's a choir boy. And we're just going to use the Epstein stuff as a doorway to put other people in jail and persecute or prosecute them. But me, Epstein's best friend, I'm just going to go on being Caesar and grifting the fuck out of you people. Amazing. And the Russia thing, that's not a hoax. Vlad owns this orange cunt. He always has since 1987. Donnie Krasnov. It's been verified. Jeffrey Epstein's scam being perpetrated by the Democrats. Yeah, that don't exist. Just like TDS doesn't exist. Just like the word woke doesn't exist. That's code for we can't allow the truth. So we'll label the truth woke. And the idiots will repeat that word as if it even means anything. Yeah, it's not a Democrat hoax. You rubes mostly wanted the Epstein stuff very strongly, very badly. Because you thought there would only be, Bill Clinton's name in there. No, the majority of the names in there are Donnie shitbags. That's the name that's there. So his name was so what's peppered within the files to such a degree. They put 1,000 men on it, son, to get his name out the files. That's how fucking horrific it is. That's how much a part of it he is. They didn't put 1,000 on there. Miss Bondi didn't put 1,000 on there to get Bill's name out of the files. You notice that? So it's not the Jeff Epstein scam. It's not a scam, just like the AI girl on the thumbnail is saying. It's not a scam. And the Democrats didn't want this. You people did. And Donnie's people promised it before the election, and right after they won, we're going to release the Epstein files. Then they had, Chaya Skank and Cernovich and all the idiots there, all financed by Russia, handed them a binder of already publicly available information, some of that redacted, and, everybody pretended it was a win. And they said phase 2 will come soon. We got 1,000 FBI agents. The shit's on my desk. And then they said, yeah, it doesn't exist anymore, and fuck you. So the rubes got mad, and I mean right-wingers got mad, because this is a subject they're interested in. And the right got real scared, and Donnie's thinking about it every second, and he's just trying to throw any squirrel at you, pull any shit out of his diaper he can find, hope it sticks to the wall, so you stop looking at him and his connections and parties with Epstein. That's all this is. And obviously, Donnie just wrote this tonight. Obviously, the Epstein thing is really weighing on it. Okay, we're at the end. This is Jim Stewartson again. A little history lesson. In 1938, Hitler launched Work-Shy Reich, a program to remove the homeless, beggars, and mentally ill from the streets and forcibly institutionalize them. You know what that means, institutionalize, right? Put them in a camp. And we know the Reich loves camps. This current Reich and the old one. Today, Donald Trump launched Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets. Why are the homeless under that banner? Satan? Can you answer that question? That kind of gives the game away what the intentions are, doesn't it? The Reich feels a need to demonize homeless people and round them up and put them in camps and call them criminals that cause disorder. Ending crime and disorder on America's streets. Well, we got a criminal in the White House. What do we do with him? Can we round him up too? Convicted fucking felon. Adjudicated rapist. Adjudicated defamer, adjudicated fraud. Nah, just leave him there, right? Go fuck with the homeless people, right? Kick them, round them up, throw them in a camp. That's what Jesus would do, right? Like I said, God don't care about your fucking $50 in the collection plate, son. He cares what gospel you preaching. So I'm seeing a bit of a coincidence here between what the old Reich did and what the new Reich's about to do. And one more time, the old Reich, they grabbed the homeless, beggars, and mentally ill and put them in camps. Because, anyone that wasn't white, pure, Aryan, master race, of value to society, Hitler looked at them as the Georgia Guidestones. Let's just keep it, at a certain number. We don't need all these people. Let's get rid of some of them. I want society to look a certain way, Plus, I'm of the devil, and that's really what I'm here to do, is kill a lot of people. Evil, cruelty, chaos, exactly like Donnie. I'm not kidding. The level of animosity and evil and cruelty put forth on an hourly basis by this Reich. There's no other logical explanation for it but Satan's son. Unfortunately. Because it ain't logical. Who wakes up with this kind of hate in their heart every day, wanting to hurt the most vulnerable people in society? Making that the religion, the agenda, doing harm. This whole movement is Satan, and it's oddly, coincidentally, or coincidental in relation to 1933 Germany and what Hitler did. And it may be much worse in the end. Because this is the Antichrist. Hitler was an Antichrist. And I'm tired and I need to go. And again, when the mark comes round, you need to say no. No matter what it costs you, you must say no. And as always, people, if you'd like to help out, if you'd like to support this thing, because I put a lot of work into it, and it's definitely taking my attention away from other things that are costing me. So any help would be appreciated, and those of you that have helped, You've helped so much. You don't even know. I'm going to put the PayPal at the top of the comments section if you'd like to help. And until the next episode, have a wonderful evening, because those wonderful evenings are limited now. They are a finite number, and I'm not joking about that. Have a wonderful evening.